we rolling on that. And we are rolling on that. What is happening, y'all? Hey, we back with another episode of the Fenarios podcast. I need to call it like Fenarios and Friends or something like that. The Fenarios and Friends podcast.
Fenario and Friends it is.
So I got a special guest in the building. Hey, we've only known each other a short amount of time. However, we've grown a great relationship so far.
Facts.
And we plan on continuing to grow. This is the voice. This is the writer, the creator of a lot of the hilarious skits y'all see coming out of LA, as well as some in Atlanta too.
Appreciate that.
My boy Dane Pierre. What's going on, man?
Hey man, pleasure to have me, man.
Hey,
Thank
man,
you so much.
Thank you for coming and even coming to Atlanta. Let me just say first off, thank you for coming to Atlanta.
Come on, talk about it.
Cause the South got something to say. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
dude, they got something to say. Man, first of all, I also want to say short is subjective. So we've known each other for almost, over a year now. Mm-hmm. But like I said, it's subjective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people, they can see their wife in 3 days and like, they fall in love. And that'd be a lifetime for them, you know? So,
Yeah.
But anyway, shout out to Atlanta.
So how you feeling? You here? You finally getting to experience the city? You know, give us a little rundown. How you?
Man, my time in Atlanta has been extremely revealing. A lot of ways, man. Spiritual, physical, mental, extremely mental, emotionally, all of that. I've been out here for 2 weeks, and for those who don't know, Dane Pierre, coming from the Midwest originally. I live in the West Coast now with my wife, and you know, I do some cool things out there with some cool people. But I had to come out to Atlanta. I had to come out to the dirty to see what's good with my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jamal, Tip, TK, the whole ATL verse, Chase, Melanie, and also
you gotta throw Jay in there.
Jay, of course. Yo, shout out to Jay and Dro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are very talented people. Atlanta definitely has something to say because, yeah, you guys do, and you guys are doing it at a high level.
Yeah. Appreciate that. And I even sold you short because not only are you the writer and director of a lot of skits out in LA, however, you're also doing movies as well. And
this is true.
You know what I'm saying? So you are you're a boss in your own right. You know what I'm saying? So let me put some proper respect on, you know what I'm saying, everything that you do. And you don't even be telling people this, but I got to tell you this only because the music was nice, but you also got some rap skills too.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, actually, I started, that's how I got into film, actually. Mm-hmm. I got into, because I didn't go to film school. I got into film because, you know, coming up in Chicago, I wanted to be a rapper. So I used to, be in the same cliques as the Chance the Rappers, the Mick Jenkins, these individuals. Mm-hmm. I used to kind of record at their same studios. So what I was doing was I was trying to barter. You know, I didn't have money to get these people on features, and I wasn't that cool with these people. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me get a music video, do a music video for these people, and then, you know, get them on a track. But rap didn't take off, but the film did. And then before I started to do that, I started doing music videos, then short films, and then, you know, at the level that I do now, which is feature films, which is a blessing to say, because I never would have thought that I would have been a feature filmmaker. Not in a million years.
Bruh, that's dope. It's dope to say.
It is amazing to say, and it's a blessing. You know, I definitely got to give honor to God because, and I know a lot of people say that, but I really, really am being humble when I tell you that I do not supposed to be here because, I'm supposed to be here, but I didn't think that I had what it takes to be here. And it was just God just putting me in positions to excel because I do not have any formal training. I just had an aesthetic, an eye.
Yeah.
And, you know, God helped me cultivate that with introducing great people that mean the world to me. Mm-hmm. And they just, you know, pretty much helped me cultivate the talent that I had. And I think that happens a lot with Black creators. It's just creators in general. We have this natural talent, but it lies dormant because nobody actually takes the time to help us cultivate that. And I was blessed enough to get people to help me cultivate and help me learn and grow. And I feel like my age and my skin color and all these things play a factor and me telling you that I'm not supposed to be a feature filmmaker.
The odds were neither, and we talked about that yesterday. The odds weren't in either of our favors. If we look at where we came from to where we're going, it's like a lot of people, a lot of black men don't make it past 25. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, the fact that we did, and you are, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's continuing to be a light. You know what? So you bring me to my first question, which is, so what do you think about film schools? And this podcast is to encourage anybody out there that wants to get in any kind of entrepreneurial endeavors, whether it be social media creation or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? What do you think about film school? Recording? Yeah. It's on the camera. This is the whole monitor.
Cool.
Yeah, we good.
Well, first and foremost, let's also give you your flowers because Lonnie's a celebrity, y'all. I mean, I was walking through Linux with him earlier, and you should have seen everybody lighting their face up like, is that coming from YouTube? is that Lonnie's like Fenarios? Yeah. Yes, it is.
It's definitely been increasing more.
It's there. Same thing with Jamal. I was walking through what is it? What's the place that we went to? We went to the Ponce Market, and Jamal definitely got stopped 2 or 3 times. Yeah. You know. Shout out to Mr. Turtle. No, it's all love. But to answer your question, is film? So are you asking me?
What's your stance on, like, if anybody wants to get in the industry, would you recommend film school? Would you not recommend it? Me personally, I don't think that film school is necessary. Granted, you can go and you can get the education and good, but the film industry is one of those, like, you really just got to jump in and start learning however you can. So let's say if you want to be a cinematographer, pick up a camera, start shooting, learning, educating yourself. You can self-learn. But you can also go to school. So it's one of those things, just whatever works best for you. So what's your take on film school?
Well, thanks for asking that question. Oh, first of all, I got to shout out Danger. He's my co-director. So what you guys don't know is I'm in a part of a director duel. I'm Dame and my brother Danger. So we come together and we just make films together. So you're gonna see the name Dame and Danger here coming out shortly. So I got to make sure that I pay respect to my brother who couldn't be here today. But yeah, but getting back to your question. You know what? I think that nobody has everybody's route to get to where they want to go in the film industry is different. You know what I'm saying? There's no right or wrong answer. If you want to go to film school, I would encourage you to do that because it is an experience and you can learn a lot of things that I had to learn. I had to take time to learn, right? You're going to have to learn it regardless. But I also understand your stance of just get out there, get your feet wet, because you can read a whole lot of books about swimming, but until somebody actually throw your ass in the pool and you actually got to like doggy paddle, then it's a whole different story. Yeah. So I can definitely see both sides of the argument. I do know a lot of people like Ryan Coogler who went to film school, Spike Lee who went to film school, and these brothers were able to help their career because of the relationships that they made at film school. Specifically Ryan Coogler, if I'm understanding his situation correctly, at USC, he made a short film and he was able to use that short film to then level up to another situation that got him, Fruitvale Station with Forrest Whitaker. So I could see how it could be beneficial.
Wait, Forrest Whitaker was in there?
Forrest Whitaker was the producer.
Producer. Okay, I was like, damn, wait. I was like, damn, wait. Okay, got you. I'm following you.
Forrest Whitaker actually was the producer. So I could see both sides of the argument. For me, I didn't go to film school. Danger didn't go to film school. We went to Columbia in Chicago. Shout out. But we did not finish. Neither one of us finished. Actually, my major wasn't even film. My major was music business, to be real. Music business with an emphasis on jazz piano. So that was my thing. Oh, yeah, and English. English as well. So that's what we did. But if you're asking, do you need to go to film school to be a filmmaker? No. You don't have to go to film school to be a filmmaker. There's so much stuff that you can learn. You can literally go to film school. The University of YouTube should be your film school if you can't afford it. But if you want to get that college experience, I know a lot of people, once they graduate, they kind of want to get out of their mom's house and kind of want to, stretch their legs out. Yeah. And then they want to learn, from somebody that, quote unquote, has experience, then go to film school. But he's right if you just want to kind of get things going, just get going, because what's the best advice I can tell you is just do it a lot. Just do it a lot. Learn angles, learn the basics of filmmaking, learn blocking. If you want to be a director, blocking is key. and you should at least have an understanding of all the departments so that you can communicate to these departments. That doesn't mean that you have to be a cinematographer. That doesn't mean that you have to be a boom op. That doesn't mean that you have to know how to produce, but you need to know the language enough. You need to know the language enough to be able to communicate to those departments, Yep. So, yeah, that's the big thing about filmmaking. The only way you will know that is putting that work in. Either way, you got to put the work in.
Yeah. There's no skipping that. So don't think that film school is you skipping putting the work in, or you not going to film schools you skipping putting the work in, because it's definitely necessary. Mm-hmm. So now, a lot of people know you from, obviously we said the YouTube skits, and you writing a lot of the content. So how is that? How do you like being behind the scenes and directing and writing and, and producing some of the content for some of the faces we see on YouTube and stuff?
Right. I love it. I was able to go full time a few years ago in doing it. And I love it because it definitely helped prepare me for bigger platforms. Being able to work with Virgil, Jahan, all the people out in LA, Sade, Jade, everybody that you can name out there in the YouTube community, I learned from all of these individuals, and just kind of like being able to understand comedic timing, because I work with a lot of comedians, hence Lonnie, right? And these individuals have an innate sense of timing. And that's what separates really any good actor from a bad actor, is knowing timing, knowing when to make that expression, knowing when to double down with saying a line this way, right? And being behind the scenes and being able to direct them, just having fun, putting out, crazy videos on YouTube, just experimenting. Like, I feel like every filmmaker needs that time in the gym, in a hyperbolic chamber, if you will, to just really learn what they're doing and experiment. And that's what YouTube did for me, and that's what it's doing for me, right? Because I continue to do it. I don't think I ever really stop doing YouTube, even though I'm now at the level where I'm doing feature films. I still will probably still do YouTube, especially if my time allows for it, because I just love the art of sketch. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I absolutely love it. I love being behind the scenes, and also I love kind of like doing cameos. I know. I know you guys.
I got you in two cameos.
Right. I know the community loves when I actually get in front of the work too, because they know me from the breaking of the fourth wall. They know me when they see Dame Pierre attached to a script. But I do know a lot of people actually think that I'm funny in front of the camera too. So I do like both, but I am so comfortable being behind the camera. I'm so comfortable just giving other people their flowers and making sure that the people that I'm shooting and, directing and producing, that they get the spotlight and attention, because I've never really been one to hoard the light either. So.
Okay. Now that you've experienced both sides of both coasts, I'll say, in person.
Yeah.
And this question isn't to like say one is better than the other. Just what are some, just in your experience, what are some differences that you've noticed in working with us over here in ATL versus working in LA? Like, what are just, whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll go even further. I'll give you the what we have in common and how you guys separate, right?
Okay.
So let's start with what you have in common. So both coasts are very serious about their craft. Both people are very talented. Like the ability to improv out here in Atlanta is crazy, right? And the same thing in LA. The ability to improv is crazy out in LA. I think that both people take it serious. I think that if we're going to start talking about like the differences, I think that the Atlanta content is a little bit more cerebral. It's a little bit more intelligent, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
In ways more creative, if I'm going to be 100. What LA differs is LA understands how to market. LA understands how to perpetuate their brand throughout YouTube. And obviously people have a conception of LA. When you make it in LA, you can make it anywhere, because LA is the biggest film industry in the world. Obviously you got Bollywood, but Bollywood don't count. You know, in the grand scheme, and not to knock, you know, our brothers out there in India doing their thing, because they got some great content as well. But when it comes down to America specifically, Hollywood is king. You know, Atlanta is kind of the little brother, but the little brother got something to say that you don't want to sleep on, because the little brother knock you out.
Damn, Mike, we got all kind of shit going on. Keep going. Keep talking.
That's how you know we busy in real life. His phone went off, my phone went off a few times, and all of that mess. But there's each coast has, you know, the ups and downs. There's a tight community, LA. Everybody works with everybody in LA, and there's a smaller community out here in Atlanta that is cultivating, that you guys are starting to build, and you guys are very close as well. I do like a lot of the cinematography that's coming out. Shout out to Adro, coming out here in Atlanta. I like this. I think things just look better out here, if I'm being honest. It's just the craft is very cinematic, and even though it's kind of like just sketch, it's still sketch on a really good level.
Okay.
LA, you know, got the names. You know, who doesn't want to see Miss Sade? You know what I'm saying? Everybody love Miss Sade. I get people hitting me all day long about, hey, you work with Virgil and Sade? Hey, what up, TK? You work with Sade, you work with Virgil, you work with John Jones. These are individuals that are proving themselves, that have names, that have followings. So I think that's kind of like the difference. I think LA has the names, and the community is giving all their attention to LA in a way. But I do think Atlanta has something powerful to say, because Atlanta has a lot of creativity that cannot be slept on. I think the South is just an oasis of creativity, if we're going to be honest. It's obviously Atlanta's a black mecca. So those are things to kind of consider when you're comparing the two.
Okay. Yeah, I can accept all of that. And I think everything you're saying is pretty spot on. Even you know, hearing it from your perspective. And my goal, like I said earlier, is to get you down here in Atlanta. Like I seen the potential from day one when we had worked, and I remember telling Jamal, I was like, nah, Dame is a key piece.
I appreciate that, man.
Dame is you had showed us love when we was out there. You know, we had worked on one of Virgil's skits. That was the first time we had worked with me and Jamal. And then, you know, and you liked working with us. So
very talented
we
brothers,
did some
man.
more scripts. So hey, you got the gift. You got it, and you got good energy. You know what I'm saying? And we was all three of us were Scorpios. So you know, we related even more, you know what I'm saying?
Sense, for sure. Yeah.
So it was like the universe. Too. Yep. Efran too.
Pierre.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit is too. Cassandra. Yep.
We actually every year me and Cassandra throw a birthday party together.
Okay.
Her wife, me, G Wayne, Scorpio as well, and Jahan.
Yep.
So we all like, so last year we kind of throw a bigger party. We do, our first one was last year, but we're gonna kind of do it as a thing.
You know what's crazy? Jahan is the only one that's a Scorpio that I haven't met yet.
Yeah, he's actually like, he's a cuspy. Like he's technically like, I think like a Sagittarius, because his birthday's the first day of Sagittarius. But
okay.
Kind of like,
okay, so it's one of those.
Bad.
Got you.
So
okay.
We just kind of like, we kind of adopted him.
Got you.
Shout out to Jay. That's the big homie. A lot of this wouldn't be possible without John Jones. I know I like always, you know, throw shots at my brother, just because that's actually like my real brother. That's a really close friend of mine. So I always, you know, try to like tell him he ain't shit as much as possible.
Hey, you got to. You know what I'm saying? That's just family love for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, and y'all gonna see the skits that me and Dame did out here. And,
fire, by the way.
And they came out great. You know, we just
fire.
The other day, we just literally, I didn't have an idea what I was going to film, but me and Dame just knew we were going to film something. We just like, we're going to figure something out. And Dame was in the middle of editing sessions for his feature that's coming out. And of course, we're going to talk about that as well.
Okay.
So it's just like, just to see how we were able to create like we did and just kind of on the fly. Yeah. And it still came out good.
Really good.
You know what I'm saying? It's just amazing that we were able to do that. I mean, granted, even if we would have sat down and wrote it, it probably would have came out a little more better. It would have came out better, but we still did a phenomenal job. Like, just for the time constraint that we was under. Right. We literally sat there, we brainstormed for like 20 minutes, up with the idea, started shooting it, And we was like, oh, it'd be funny as hell if this happened. And we just altered it. You know what I'm saying? We did that right on the spot. Shout out to Jessica, too, because she was part of that.
Oh, yeah. Miss Rabbit doing that thing.
But it was like, man, it's just good when you got other creatives that can keep up with you. Mm-hmm. And y'all can bounce ideas off each other. Because it literally, me, you, and Dro, we just bing, 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 bing. And it just became this grandiose thing. So even me seeing that in itself is just amazing. So I will forever remember just how we were able to create that easy. So that's why part of my reason why I'm trying to steal Dame from LA and bring him out here is just because just being able to create like that and just even if it was an idea that he had and you know what I'm saying of anything and you know what I'm saying just to be able to bounce it off another mind that can accept it or you know what I'm saying and elevate it or whatever is always good. So hey man, appreciate you for that. I gotta say that.
Man, no doubt. Like, yeah, it's because we actually really do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody told me that like Beyonce can sing even when she's hoarse, even when she doesn't feel like it. She can steal notes because she actually does. She actually does this. Mm-hmm. She's like, she has so much control of her gift that she can just like relinquish it whenever she wants to. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's the level that we're getting to now, where you know. Anyone else may struggle to kind of come up with some of these concepts that we kind of come up with, you know, just organically, you know, and that's just a blessing. That's a blessing of God. That's a gift that God has given us. A lot of people, you know, we can take it for granted because it just kind of comes like to us. But yeah, it was a blessing. And honestly, I think that the series, I don't know if you want to say the name now, but it's pretty funny. Right?
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be dope, and I pray that it gets a lot of views in your channel, and that like you know you get a lot of pub off of it because I think that that's a winner. That concept is fire.
Yeah, even if it don't do good, I'm learning to just be happy with my content. Like
if you like,
I like the video.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
It's like hopefully y'all like it as well, but like I'm just satisfied with it because it was like. In the time we created, it was crazy. It was very short, but it was funny as fuck. The idea was hilarious.
It was needed for sure.
Exactly. So let's go back to let's go back to your journey a little bit. So let's pull back like right before. Let's start from like right before you went full time at this. Like, what was your grind like to build up to this point where you are now? Like, what did that look like, and who were you working with in LA around the time before you went full time?
Okay, cool. So. Let me tell you. So I went from Chicago to pretty much driving Uber and driving Lyft, meeting a lot of cool people there, and people giving me the advice. Like obviously, recently moved to LA, give me the advice to, hey man, just make sure that you are about relationships, and that's what I'm gonna give that's the advice I give anybody. You know, keep God as a priority and make sure that you water those relationships that He presents you, because you most likely have the connections that you need. But you just haven't watered them, you know? So a lot of times people think that they got to kind of go and network vertically. But in reality, we need... Okay.
Yeah, we good.
We need to network laterally. You know what I'm saying? You need to see your peers for where they are and big up and cultivate a workflow with them. You know?
Yeah. Okay, so
that's big, but yeah. To answer your question, specifically,
Jesus Christ, keep going.
Yeah. To answer your question specifically, I think that you need to. I was working with Jahan on a web series called "You Hidden" at the time. This is a couple years ago. Speaking of which, we did a movie called "You Married That."
Is that where that comes from? Is that like it derives off of the? Got you. Okay, with the title. Okay, I got you.
So yeah, be mindful. So be on the lookout for that, because that's coming soon. But yeah, I was working on a YouTube series with them. Still, then I ended up working at a call center and making minimum wage, and just thinking that is this shit ever gonna really work out? And then honestly, it did. It's not one specific thing that I can say, okay, this is what happened to make this happen.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of things. It was just God's timing. And but I think that the main thing that I did was continue to grind, even when it wasn't in my favor, even when my wife was like, are you still doing YouTube videos? I'm going to divorce you if this YouTube stuff don't work out. My wife said that too. My wife said, if you gamble on doing these YouTube videos and it doesn't work out, I'm going to divorce you. I'm going to divorce you.
Damn, that's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure, but I had to do what I had to do.
But you knew you could perform.
I believed I could. You know,
that's the key right there. I believe that's the key. As long as
I put everything on the line because I knew what God was calling me. You know, sometimes people can't understand your purpose, but it doesn't mean that it's not worth you pursuing it.
Yeah, and when you talk about relationships, how important relationships is, a lot of this business specifically, Jesus Christ, it's about relationships. It's who you know, because and how you treat people too, because you never know if this person who is in this position now, they might be in a higher position later that can help you out. So be careful of how you treat people, and also your network is your net worth, which is, I know it's a cliche thing to say, but it's true. Literally the truest thing that I've seen. Like, just knowing certain people, it's helped me. And hell, I ain't even use my network correctly like I should.
Right.
But and seeing you, like I've learned so much from you. So
likewise.
So this was a good fucking trip.
It was, bro. This definitely was a trip. Like, it started out with me really not needing to come out here, but then it came out with, you know, God revealing me all the reasons why I needed to be out here. And I feel like I everything's in timing. And this was just a beautiful time. You know, I spent exactly 2 weeks out here. And I do miss the West Coast. But when I tell you Atlanta is becoming another home, I can definitely.
Hey, that's what we like to hear. Y'all heard that. Y'all heard it here first. We're gonna put the pressure on it.
Yeah, they trying to get me to stay, man. And there's a few people that do not want me to come out here again.
Hey, the ecosystem, like, what's up? What's happening? Dame, come on back.
Hilarious.
But so now tell us about what was the moment or the time when, like, you realized that you could walk away from any other job and you could do this full time. How was that transition for you? Was it scary? Was it, you know what I'm saying? When was it? Just
let me shout out one person specifically, and that's Virgil. King V, y'all know him. But Virgil's my brother. That's my best friend. Like, Virgil, outside of the film shit, Virgil is legitimately one of the best people you'll come in contact with on earth. When I tell you, the man is so humble. And I know that's why it's crazy, because
he got good energy for sure.
Oh, best
for
energy.
Sure.
A lot of times people, they say things like, okay, man, he got all those gold chains on. He must not be humble. He must not be this. You don't know. That's a character that man is portraying on YouTube. Yeah. When I tell you, this is the same guy that will give you the shirt off of his back. This is the same guy that will call you and be like, hey, bro, is your phone bill taken care of? You need something for your car note? Give it to you and not ask for nothing in return. Literally one of the selfless people I know. And if I wasn't working with Virgil was the first time that I really, really started to make enough money to be like, oh, okay, I'm good. I don't need, my family is straight. I made, in 1 month of working with Virgil, I made more than I made in a couple of months working minimum wage.
Yep.
And
crazy, right?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And I'm tempted to say the number, but I won't, because I know, like, when people really know, you get envious. But just know it was a nice amount of money.
Hey, y'all gotta get your own money. Yeah, we're just telling you the tools in which we use to get it. So
but to answer your question specifically, Virgil was one of those big people to be like, hey, bro, you know what? We're gonna do this together. We're gonna split this bag, and we're gonna become very, very profitable.
Yeah.
And that's my brother. Like, I love Virgil to life and back for that, to death and back, because that brother definitely helped initially, and he still does. You know what I'm saying? I still work with Virgil. I will always work with Virgil. He definitely opened up some floodgates and blessed my household. So if it wasn't for that man being humble, I would lie to that man. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, and shout out Virgil, aka King V,
King Visit.
and I can definitely verify everything that Dame is saying. Virgil has always shown me love from the time that I first met him till now. He's always been a good dude. Even some business dealings that we were both involved with the network, we were able to. He gave me knowledge that I never had. I was able to call on him. You as well during the process.
Yeah.
But Virgil, we even we sent each other our first episode for the TV show, the network that we presented our TV show to. We sent each other the first episode and compared it. And when I seen his, I was like, damn, this is amazing. When he seen mine, he said the same thing. So he's good people.
Good heart, man. Good heart. And it's not that, a lot of times people say good people are hard to find. No. They're not. If they're only hard to find if you don't know where to look.
Yeah. But I was going to say, or if you're a bad person.
Yeah, because your perception is already, your perspective is already kind of messed up anyway.
Yeah.
But when you start like praying that God just bring people into my life that only have my best interests, he'll do that. And you'll be amazed how many people are there willing to help, willing to, see that talent and help you cultivate it.
Yep, I agree. So was it scary for you when you were going full time, or how was that for you? Because I understand liberating. That it's like it definitely is. It's a big leap of faith, because you be like, it's just me. I'm just out here myself. My entire future rides on me and me alone. Like, you don't have the security of a job. So when I did it, it was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely that, but it just makes me work harder. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people think that, okay, well, I gave up 40 hours to work less hours as an entrepreneur or working for myself. That's not the case. I work actually way more hours than I did working for someone else. I work way more hours. Like, I'm constantly working.
The grind don't stop,
man.
Ever.
My work day, when I was working at the call center, my work day was like from 6 to 2:30.
Okay.
Right? And I thought that was hell. I work from 5 to 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, my God.
5 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night.
Bruh.
Because in LA, I literally work, because you got to understand, the coast is open, like Lonnie is up at 8 o'clock by the time it's 5. So I have to, so it's crazy. Like normal business hours doesn't process.
Yeah. That's what they say about entrepreneurs. I categorize us as entrepreneurs only because we essentially work for ourselves. So
we are.
They say that entrepreneurs are the only ones that will avoid working in a 40-hour work week to work 80.
Yeah, easily. And then when you start to do projects like the project I'm doing right now, the first Damn It Danger film, Amp House, be on the lookout for it.
Shout out to
it. I work crazy hours. Like, I'm talking about editing. I do 2 a days. You guys, if you guys know about anything about football, you do 2 days. You do a practice in the morning, you do a practice at nighttime. We do 2 a days. Editing. But that's not conversations with producers. That's not hiring production houses. That's not composer conversations. That's not conversations that me and Mike got to have about what we're doing next with the film. That's not marketing conversations. It's crazy. And then you still have to figure out your schedule enough to make time for your life. I have a son still.
Yeah, personal.
I have a wife. I have a family. I have people calling me in my family that may need things. So definitely, when you go down this journey, which I believe that y'all can, because I'm not special. I'm not more special than any of y'all, right? Y'all can do the exact same thing I'm doing, maybe even better. I'm just gonna tell you that, understand that it takes a lot of sacrifice.
Man, what?
If you want to be comfortable, this is not the life for you, because filmmaking is probably one of the most longest things you'll do. You typically work on like an 8-hour shift, right? 8 to 9 hours is what is how you are in office, right? And you may have like, an hour worth of transit from there and back. So you altogether, you may have a 10-hour day. Okay. When I'm filming and directing a feature film, I have 12-hour days standard. Okay, that's a 12-hour day, so I already got your day beat. And you're not talking about the hour, 2 hours before prep. So I essentially could have anywhere from a 13 to 15-hour day for weeks on end.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind. And we did, and the film that we just did is a horror film. So, and it's something that you guys probably would never ever think, but to even think about. But horror films are shot at nighttime. So a vast majority of them are shot at nighttime, meaning that you have to flip your schedule. So you have to become nocturnal. Yep. So call times are now from 4 p.m. to literally 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
So just think about that. Think about how wacky your workday is, and then you have to come to set and be the leader of a set.
Third shift, essentially.
Yes. Like the day that we wrapped the film originally, I think we wrapped at 3 o'clock the last day.
A.M.
Yeah, 3 a.m.
Okay.
And I didn't go to sleep, obviously, because me and the cast, we party, we bonded, and I'm still close to my brothers and sisters from the Amp House film. But I don't think we went to sleep till like 9 o'clock the next day.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something crazy.
Yeah. So okay, let's that's a good little transition point. So I was asking you earlier in the week, like, what's the difference in skit creation versus doing feature films, and like kind of spread a little knowledge to the people of just like how different those worlds are, and a few similarities. I'm sure there's similarities, of course, because it's production as well. But like, it's me watching you and the things that you have to do. It's a whole different level. It's a whole different lifestyle. Like you said, being on the phone with producers, having editing meetings, and all of this stuff. So talk about that aspect of it.
Wow, I don't even know where to begin. Well, okay, let me just start. When you're doing a sketch, obviously amongst your friends, and you are, filming content. People are not necessarily getting paid. People are doing it for the love, and there's really no risk. The only risk is you don't post for that week if you don't figure the sketch out, right? You can waste somebody's time, which is never a good thing. But it's very, like, in most cases, it's very, like, freeing. Like, the atmosphere is very it's very relaxed. You don't have like an AD when you're filming sketches. You're just kind of like, okay, let's pick it up as we go. Film is the exact opposite. So you do have money on the line. You have millions of dollars on the line, $100,000 on the line, specifically for a day, maybe at times. And when you got people's money involved, there's consequences, big consequences. So, for example, I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek of what it means to be a filmmaker. So, I remember shooting the hell out of one of these scenes. Like, me and Mike, we did our thing. We shot this scene. The issue is the scene came out beautiful, but we spent 4 hours shooting the scene. The AD only allowed it for like an hour and a half. So at the end of the day, once we wrap, you have your post meetings with the producers, and you kind of go over like what is the best thing to do moving forward for tomorrow, and what can we do. Like you pretty much have like a summary, like a wrap up, right?
Okay.
I'm thinking, being a young director, because I'm still learning, right? I'm thinking that, man, I'm about to get out so much praise because we just killed. Like, you saw that shit. Look, that shit look cold. Like, the effects, everything was really good. Like, that we did.
We shot the hell out of it.
We shot the hell out of that scene. My producer looked at me and said, and I'm just knowing I'm about to get a pat on the back. He said, damn. I said, yeah, what up? He said, about that, you took too long. So you have to cut a scene out for the movie because we won't be able to film that scene ever. Because you spent this much time on this, you're going to affect, like, even that we shot this on day 3, it affects day 16.
Yeah.
So you literally have to figure something out. So guess what? You lost time here. So you need to figure out what you got to cut.
Damn, that's a hard decision.
On top of that, something else that you guys don't understand. Agents. Specifically, an agent told me in the project, me and Dame in the project, that their actor needed more lines. And we was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? We adhere to it. But that's something that you don't even think about. The agent literally finessed more lines in the film for that particular client. And they said, well, he doesn't get the lines, we're not gonna be in the film. If this individual did not get those lines, they wouldn't gonna be in the movie. So you need to shoot these lines. Give this particular individual more lines, but they're not going to be in the movie.
So did y'all have to rewrite? Like,
oh my gosh, yes. It's things like that you guys wouldn't even think to even think about. Like, your producer's coming to you and telling you, hey, your makeup team isn't getting along with your sound team, so you need to move them. Well, don't they have their own sections?
Damn,
yeah.
You got to do HR too, huh?
Oh, that's a big part of it. A big part of it is relations. Everything. A big part of filmmaking is less about the art and it's more about human relations, because you are essentially hiring nothing but artists, nothing but creatives around you. And the moment that one of those creatives don't feel away, and guess what? We being creatives, we are very enigmatic. So a lot of people are very hard to understand in general. Yeah. But put that label on their creators. it takes a whole different definition to the word.
Yeah.
So individuals are going to be like in our experience, it was so funny. Departments always think that their department is the most important department of the film. Sound thinks that. Camera team thinks that. Yeah. G&E thinks that. Makeup thought that. Everybody thinks that. But you being like the glue, like you being like the person that melds everything together, you got to say, yo, everything that everyone does is needed. No one has a bigger hand in all of this. Yeah. So you kind of got to make sure that you bring those expectations and make it a family. Because if you don't, you're going to have war in the product. And let me tell you guys, it gets nasty because you're dealing with extremely talented people that really, really give a damn about this stuff. Like this is how they make their livelihood. Yeah. So you may be like, okay, well, set design, that art department, that cup doesn't really matter. No, it matters. That cup needs to be there. It needs to be there for them. Yeah. So that's kind of like a small piece of what it's like to be on set when you have to manage all those departments, because as a director, you are in charge of all of those departments. So you may have one department that has 20 people in it. One department. You have to manage all of those departments. And these people will come at you pretty much saying that, like almost like I imagine like how teachers have to manage kids. That person told on me, that person hit me, that person took my juice. That's how petty it gets.
You the principal. And
oh my gosh.
They in the principal's office complaining.
Oh my gosh. So to put it short, filmmaking on the level that I do it now is way more stressful at times. Even though I like to keep it relaxed. Me and Danger like to keep a very relaxed environment. And I think that we're good at what we do. And we are. Glory be to God. And filmmaking, sketching is just relaxed. You can experiment a lot more. You can experiment. You need to do all your experimentation on sketches, and you need to see, okay, what works there, because you won't have the money or the flexibility to do it on set, no matter how big you are, because money and time are factors.
Got you. Okay. Now, just to lock in a little more into the film. So you and Danger, how does co-directing work? Like, what does that look like? Like, is it more so like you handle actors and talent and he may take care of something else? Or is it like y'all hand off scene by scene? Or like, how does that so when y'all like co-direct, like what does that look like?
So let me tell you, Danger's my brother. Shout out to Danger. Danger is probably one of the most even balanced minds you'll ever come in contact with. When I tell you this individual, Danger can process just as much like logic and creativity. Like he can do both. Like I've never seen anyone do that. Like this man can file your taxes and also paint a piece of the Sistine Chapel. Like he's like crazy, right? Dope. So I'm honored to work with my brother first and foremost. How it works, honestly, like we ever met somebody and you just like on that same frequency and y'all speak the same language without talking, like telepathically. So the way that me and Mike work, and so Danger is Mike Danger. So the way that me and Mike work is me and Mike, we just obviously humility is first.
Okay.
We never fall out in front of each other in front of the cameras. Okay. If me and my brother ever have a disagreement, we always take it to the side and we always make sure that we big up and encourage the other director. Okay. Always. And we're open to seeing what the other director may think. So it's not a specific like he does the actors or I do the blocking with the camera team. It's we all are working on it together and we just kind of like take that hands-on approach. So okay. But we do pass each other the rock. You know what I'm saying? Even though I feel like we're both Kobe, we're able to pass the ball to each other. Like there's times when I got the hot hand and I'm just shooting hot. He'll fall off. Even he'll fall back, even if that's 2 or 3 days straight of me just leading the direction. Then there's times where he just got the hot hand. He just seeing the film and seeing that scene better. So I just need to fall back and support him in that way.
Gotcha.
And that's how it works. It just works. It's a
true partnership.
Man, it's just literally just like, because there's a lot of times when, Mike is a very visual guy. I'm very big on dialogue and blocking. That's what we natively do well. He has a cinematographer background. I have just a people background. So I'm able to kind of communicate to actors in a way. He can communicate to actors too. I don't want to short him, sell him on that. He's a complete director.
Yeah.
We both are complete directors. We both can direct separately as well. But together we make Megatron. Or,
okay.
That's evil. What about Optimus Prime?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Y'all code in the game. Y'all code in the game. Y'all come together and y'all do that. I only understand you because that's how me and Jamal was for a long time. We had that synergy. We had worked with each other for so long.
Sure.
It's like, and we talk about this all the time. It's like we're so in sync. Like if Jamal, like if he's like is shooting a scene or he needs a scene, like I'm like, all right, like I'll just automatically grab a light and start lighting the scene.
Right.
And while he's getting together the actors or actresses or whatever it may be. So I understand what you say about
Facts.
that it's a beautiful thing. It's like y'all fucking dance. It's like y'all salsa dancing or some shit. Like it's just so in sync. It's like a beat and everybody's in step.
Yeah, it's syncopated. At the end of the day, like it always works because me and Mike are humble enough just to be like, hey, it's a team. It's not about I. It's not about, I came up with this cool design or I came up with this. And granted, there's a lot of times when Mike came up with a lot of cool ideas that's going to happen in this movie. And he always be like, yo, it's us, and vice versa, but it's always us. Like we'll never tell you like, okay, who came up with that idea? Because we'll always say that we both came up with that idea. And that's great because me and Mike operate in an interdependent space. And I like to just quickly tell you guys, there's 3 different mindsets. There's dependent. That's the mindset that you don't want to be at, right? You don't want to like be relying upon people for your success or blaming people for your failure. And the second mindset is where most people land. That's independent. And they think that, but the issue with the independent mindset is it's always us versus you or us versus them or me versus you or me versus them. The interdependent mindset is it's unity, it's collective, it's collaborative, it's we do this together. We're going to win. So, and that's just good advice for any relationship. If you are focused on supporting the other person you're in a relationship with, and their focus is supporting you, you are always going to be each other's crutches.
Yeah,
always. The issue is when you're trying to be about you talking about the I. That's when people start to fall. That's when Rome falls. Rome doesn't fall when everyone is thinking, let's hold each other up accountable.
Got you. And you're dropping gems, my boy.
I appreciate you. Come on now.
So why horror? Why horror as your, I guess, can we call this your first feature? Can we say that first?
It's the first Damon Danger feature for sure.
Okay. So
for sure.
What made y'all go into horror? Because, me off top, I would have thought that you would have kept it in comedy for the first one.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Me and Mike have a brand. We have a style. And when you have an idea of where you want to go with your career, and we want to do more serious, more cinematic thriller content. That doesn't mean that I'll completely escape or abandon the comedic space, because I would never. But because it's even comedic moments in this film. But we want to do something that is not necessarily typical for Black filmmakers. Shout out to Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele opened up a whole floodgate.
Man, what?
He made a lot of people ask questions. When you got a Black film director doing a horror film, doing some thriller stuff, and he's not the only one, right? But he's the most notable one. He's the one that a lot of people talk about. But you gotta I remember sitting down and having a lunch with Robert Townsend. And Robert Townsend gave me some great advice. He told me to win every scene. Make sure you leave your mark on every scene. No matter what the genre is, leave your mark on every scene. Win every scene. If you win every scene, you'll win the film. And we took this challenge because it was presented to us by some amazing producers. Shout out Nicole, shout out Kelly. They presented us this pretty much this writing prompt and said, hey, we're going to do the first Damon Danger movie. And we want you guys to make this movie about this. And you guys have complete autonomy. Go for it. And we said, we're going to make this a thriller, scary movie, and we're going to put our sauce on this.
Okay. And you guys also wrote the film?
We wrote it as well.
Okay. Wrote it and directed it.
Yep.
Amazing. Fucking amazing. And when you talk about Jordan Peele, I equate him to, Jordan did for Black filmmakers what Christopher Nolan did to superhero movies. In the sense of he changed the genre.
Wow.
Every superhero movie that came out was trying to do this dark thing, and Jordan Peele, now that we can see black people survive a horror movie of these things, is like, shit, it's amazing. So when you talk about him, you know, I'm just like, yeah, he opened the floodgates, like you said. He let us see something that we never thought we could do, and put it in front of us. So
brilliant mind, man. Jordan Peele is a brilliant mind. Like, I mean, I go back and watch his sketch comedy days with Key and Peele. That's one of my favorite shows ever, and he's just such an amazing actor. Him and Key,
both of them,
they're just
fire.
Like, they can literally train. Like to be that talented is not fair. Like, this man can write his ass off, can act his ass off, obviously can direct his ass off, can produce. He is literally a Swiss Army knife, and that's someone that I myself, you know, am striving to be like, because him and Ryan Coogler, you know, I like a lot of, no offense, white directors, and I don't want to make this a situation of white, because I feel white black directors or Asian directors. I'm not here to like be divisive in that way, but I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm gonna big up the black directors right now. When you talk about Ryan Coogler, Stephen Caple, you talking about these individuals, and also our sisters, you know what I'm saying?
Got Issa.
Shout out, Issa's doing her thing as a producer and as an actor. Yeah. I would love to see her behind the camera as well. But when you talk about Michaela Cole, she's amazing. We talking about Ava DuVernay, of course. Mm-hmm. These people are amazing, and these are the people that one day I hope to be mentioned with, because these are black creators that are literally changing the time right now. This is our time right now. Oh, you also got to shout out Lena Waithe from the crib. Lena, I want to work with you. I'm going to work with you one day, okay? I'm going to produce. I'm going to direct one of your movies that you write. Me and Danger are going to do it. I'm speaking to existence right here.
Hey, y'all got to hear.
Let's do it.
When it happens, y'all, hey,
come on
replay this and be like, he's said it. So
come on.
So who obviously you look up to them. Are there any more? And I only say this in a term of like, so like with me being a social media creator and content creator, I have like social media gods, I call them. These are people who they have just seemed to master this. So like a King Batch, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, like these are like gods that like one day I want to get up to their level. I mean, obviously you named a few of them, but is there any more who you kind of put in this high regard that you one day want to be mentioned amongst them besides the ones you named?
Are you talking about influencers, or are you talking about directors?
It can be anybody. Directors, it can be producers, it can be anybody. Just whoever inspires you the most or motivates you the most, and you would, you know, want to be mentioned among them. It could be anybody.
You know what? I just want to be that guy that inspires the next generation. You know, I think there's a lot of names that we can mention, but I just want to be one of those guys. Me and Mike definitely want to be one of those guys that just help inspire filmmakers. People that were just like how we were 4 or 5 years ago, 3 years ago, when we were trying to, you know, scratch and claw. Because the catch-22 about making a feature film is you have to make a feature film before people can trust you to give money to make a movie. So it's like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you make a movie if nobody's going to trust you to make a movie? If you need to, it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, I understand it, because there's not a lot of people that can be feature filmmakers. They don't have the mindset.
Yeah.
Because even if you can direct a good scene for a day, guess what? It's 20 days of this. And then guess what? It's actually 20 months of post-production after that. Guess what? It's also PR after that. You have to be able to, like, so it's a daunting job. It's a rewarding job, but it's a daunting job. It's not a lot of people that can actually do this, or that, and it's not because they're not talented. It's that, do you have the endurance?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. It's not just about creativity. It's about endurance. Can you endure doing it? Like, it's literally all the time. Yeah. You know? So I just want to be one of those guys that help pioneer a movement. I want to produce films for feature filmmakers, for future feature filmmakers. I want to be that person that becomes a gatekeeper, that doesn't just hoard the light. Because there's a lot of filmmakers. I'm not gonna drop the names. There's a lot of black filmmakers that just need to move on. Make space for some of these other brothers like myself, some of these other actors like Lonnie. These people are very talented. Give them a shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
We seen your movies, and guess what? They're getting worse.
Yeah.
Go.
Man, I do feel like people's out of touch with, man, it's so crazy. You transition so well. So now I actually want to get into something that this is something that I've publicly spoken about, and getting your take on it is going to be very interesting because you are in the industry as well. So I'm very against all of this trauma we selling to black people.
Oh Lord.
I'm against all of this. I call it cooning. I'm not gonna hold y'all. It's a lot of directors and producers who are doing some coon shit to art and doing to our people that's still hurting us to this day. And it's all because of the system is set up to send the message back to the younger filmmakers that, oh, we want to see trauma from y'all. If we want to be accepted in our award shows like the Oscars and stuff like this, you have to sell black trauma, so it keeps us in this box that we still don't have black superheroes. We still don't have a black James Bond. We still don't have these other things. We still selling black trauma. And I'm like, we're living it today. We don't need to be reminded that we're black. That's not what black people need anymore. We're tired of that. Slave movies, we're tired of those. How many more slave movies, like how many more different perspectives can we have on a slave movie? It all ends the same. We know that we're still enslaved, even to this day. Even the guy who won recently, I can forget the name, but Joey Badass is in it. He won the Oscar for the short. And I'm not taking away anybody's award or anything. However, it's just like, damn, the only thing that's ever winning is the black trauma. So how do you feel on us perpetuating, or filmmakers who perpetuate the black trauma and use that to, that's usually their claim to fame, is the black trauma. How do you feel about that whole in the genre of art and things like that?
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I do. I don't like the trauma porn either. But filmmakers are trying to make what gets made. You know, it's an agenda for sure. But there are some movies, like some slave movies, that I love. Like I love 12 Years a Slave. I think that movie is amazing. But at the same time, I can understand that it gets repetitive. It gets like, why the hell for? Yeah. Why we continue to make this story? I definitely understand. You know how that can be damaging, especially to the psyches of a lot of young black filmmakers and young black and just people in general.
Yeah.
I would like to do away with it, to be honest. I think that we're stronger. I think that this is the thing. What I think is this. I think that I got a lot of white friends, okay? I got a lot of friends that are not just black because I love people in general. I don't think that no race is superior to another race. I think that we all here for God's purpose and we all united. I really believe that. I know it's people that say that black people are the most empowering or white people are the most empowering. Man, fuck that.
Yeah, whatever the case may be.
The truth of the matter is this, though. I know people that get charged when they see how white people treated our ancestors back in the day, and then they look at their white friends like side-eyeing them based on what happened in real life, right? But these are not the same people. These are not the same people. You see what I'm saying? Like, these are not the same individuals. And I think that we have to be okay with let's let that go. Let's let that go. You know, how many times can we make another slave movie? How many times do we got to see our people get hung? Like, there's a series, and I won't name it, but there's a series that I had a lot of hope for.
Them?
Them?
That what?
Oh.
What the fuck is it? No, I'm going to say it.
I got to be mindful of what I say.
True.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, let me revert.
Yeah.
Because obviously I do have to keep you in mind as well. I can't couple you into that. So, yes, we will go ahead.
Yeah.
There's a series.
There's a
and that's not even that was a series. I'm just
there's a few series out here that are just amazingly written series. However, they're just shock value. They're not really of substance, in my opinion. Okay. Like I said, I haven't named any names, but read the tea leaves. There are series, and it's literally showing so much black hate. Like if we're trying to overcome that, why we keep on showing that?
Yep.
If we're trying to overcome the divisiveness that period had, why do we keep on rehashing that same trauma? Yep. So producers of Hollywood, filmmakers that share the same color I have, why do we keep on making that mess?
Yeah.
Why do we keep on showing people hung? People get these crazy gory deaths.
Yep.
Even if it's a sci-fi, why do we keep on showing it?
Yep.
Why?
I got a list, and there's a few people. I'm not gonna name the people that's on the list. There's a few people that as soon as I run into them, we gotta have a conversation. Like I'm gonna have to sit them down and like really tell them about themselves, and it's just I see what their art has done to the community.
It's damaging at times.
It's very damaging. Like meaning it set us back more than it's pushed us forward.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and I think that we as black people and especially as being filmmakers, both of us, we sometimes got to hold our brothers and sisters accountable. Sometimes
You have to. It's important.
We're here to push us forward.
Yeah.
So if this person steps out of line, like, and it can go for anything. It don't have to be just filmmaking. It's like if you see your boy doing something wrong, you as his friend need to step in and what's going on? Like let's have a conversation because your actions are doing this.
Yeah.
And sending this message.
Yeah.
So and I also understand that people, they in their own creative right, they have their thing that they think they're doing this positive thing, but it's a list of people in which, I'm gonna have to sit down like, you need to answer for these crimes that you committed upon your people. So
facts.
But yeah, I love that your first feature with Damon Danger feature is something different. It's horror and first off, Dame came to Atlanta and just threw me in the movie. It was just like you want to do this little quick shot? I was like, shit, all right. And literally we just did it within 20 minutes, if that. And so I appreciate you for even
no
doing that for me.
But
now. The fact that your first film is a horror, I'm excited to see it. I can't wait to see the cut.
Thank you.
Whatever it is. You let me see a piece of it, but it's just like to actually see that you had created this thing and it wasn't just black people on the screen. There was white people on the screen. There was different faces and you did this. I was like, my nigga did this. My nigga Dame did this. Like,
appreciate it. We did it.
Like everything, everything you've ever talked about, it's like you actually did.
Manifest it. Yeah. You gotta be a living manifestation. You know what I'm saying? And I if I can give anybody advice, like literally, it's confidence.
Yeah.
Assume that you already have it.
Yeah.
Like walk in that path.
Yeah.
Because if you don't believe it, who will? And it does take time. Like I wasn't just, because it was times when I was at my lowest of lows. I'm talking about car repoed. I'm talking about sleeping in my car, not being able to afford the basic necessities to live in Los Angeles. Pretty much fronting to a lot of my friends that I had some stuff that I didn't have. Like I went through that whole phase. And I'm gonna tell you, I appreciate every moment of it because it got me here to where I'm so humble to be here. Yeah. And I know for a fact it's just not me. It's not my talent. My wife took me in when I was pretty much homeless. Like shout out to Sierra Angelia. That's my wife.
Shout out to
her. She's an amazing woman. It definitely paid off for her. Don't get it twisted. It paid off. But shout out to and I'll say this. I know we got to go soon.
Yeah.
I'll say this. A message for our beautiful black women, because we gotta support them. We gotta protect them and cherish them.
Yep.
Women in general, specifically our black women though, we gotta cherish them. If you can see the potential in that brother, stay with him, please. Don't wait till a brother's on to, stake your claim to it. Because anybody can do that. Anybody can eat the bread, but were you in the lab making the bread with him?
Or you in there rolling out the dough and the yeast?
Well, you see what I'm saying?
Getting the supplies.
And that's the same thing with anyone. If you see the potential in someone, have a God eye. Be able to see their potential, not just where they're at. Be able to see, you know what? this person got something. And I'd like to shout out one more person. Speaking of that, Leon Thomas. Y'all may know him from, he's an amazing producer, amazing singer. He's an amazing friend. He's one of my brothers. Leon allowed me to crash at his house when I didn't have no money. Mm-hmm. Leon saw the potential in me. He said, Dame, I know for a fact that one day you're going to be that nigga. And when everybody was like, yo, it's kind of weird that you just letting a dude crash your house for free. And he ain't really like putting out. He's like, bro, no, y'all leave Dame out your mouth. He's going to be something. And I had no evidence of becoming a feature filmmaker. Like, I was still trying to get a movie done. I was still trying to like pitch scripts. And he was like, no. He good. When you got people, that's why I say, like, when you got people that, and also too, brothers and sisters that don't necessarily have it just now, but you know you will have it in the future, do right by those people when you get on. Yeah. Don't have this, self-made me. That's some lie. That's a lie. Yeah. You ain't no self-made nothing.
Yeah, you couldn't have been.
Your mama put that work in, even when she was working 2 or 3 jobs to put you to school. Your daddy, if he was there or wasn't, you was not self-made.
Somebody. And it don't have to be your direct parents.
It don't have to be your
uncle, grandmother, people, whoever.
Yeah, and also speaking of which, like my uncle, Birdie, people that know me know Birdie. Birdie's my right hand. He's always gonna be my right hand. My uncle, and we joke around because he's like my cousin. He's my age. He's around my age too. So yeah, my granddad was freaky. But my uncle always saw the potential in me. Always. So guess what? Every time, God continues to grow my platform, guess what I'm going to do? Birdie ain't got to worry about nothing. My wife ain't never got to worry about nothing. Yep. My wife ain't never got to worry about me stepping out on nothing like that because she showed me that she's down. Yep. From the jump. So going back to my ladies, if you see a brother that got the potential, maybe he ain't got all the answers right now, give him time. Let him grow into his role. Mm-hmm. If he's trying. Don't have this hot girl summer mentality where you just trying to like use a nigga. Yeah. You're trying to get on, but you didn't
just trying to run up a bag real quick like that. Yeah.
Because guess what? You ain't got to worry about trying to run up a bag from somebody that's gonna be temporary. If you build something that's eternal. Yeah. So take the time, build with them.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. Hey, I want to say thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me, brother.
All the gems you dropped. I hope y'all paying attention. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Go check out Dame. You give them your social media. It'll be underneath you.
Dame Pierre everything. DamePierre.
And again, appreciate you. And I'm hoping that you coming to Atlanta is a regular thing or
it will be
possibly a permanent thing. I'm gonna throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? So I got to do that.
A lot of people won't like that.
Hey. I said it. A lot of. They better cherish what they got out in LA. Because if I find a way and an opportunity, I promise you, I will make it so that Dame will never have to work in LA again. I will make it my personal mission. And you do not want me to put it on my personal mission list. But I love all y'all in LA too.
For sure. Listen, man. Thanks for having me, brother.
For sure. Hey, as always, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, this is Fenario's Podcast. We out, baby.
Peace.